Welcome to our EUROLITE Color Chief tutorial. The Color Chief is a DMX controller designed to control individual LED spotlights and spotlight systems, such as our KLS series with up to 4 spots. Of course, it can also be used to control simple light effect units. It can control a total of 8 fixtures with 4 spotlights each. No matter if the spotlights have a color mixture system or only one color, as the Color Chief supports up to 6 colors. Furthermore, thanks to the additional color wheel fader, color wheel effects are also supported. The 8 integrated color effects are a special feature of the Color Chief and can be used for all spotlights with color mixture. You can store your scenes and chases on 24 memory banks and later call several of them simultaneously. First, the Color Chief needs to be connected via the terminals on the rear panel using the included power adapter and a 3-pin DMX cable. If you want to use an external audio signal for sound control, you can use the RCA jack. The Color Chief also has a built-in microphone. Patching fixtures. First, the spotlights need to be patched via the system menu. In order to do so, keep the menu escape button pressed for 3 seconds. Now scroll through the menu with the encoder wheel. Select the first menu item patch fixture and press enter. The display indicates please select a fixture. In order to patch the respective fixture, use the fixture button located on the left side on the controller. Later, the controller suggests a starting address for the fixture which can be adjusted via the encoder wheel. An exclamation mark at the end of the address means that this address is occupied and thus cannot be used. Confirm the setting by pressing enter. The Color Chief has a large fixture library with several profiles of spotlights and our KLS systems already recorded. You can use this library to adjust the spotlight's functions by pressing the swap button. Keep the swap button pressed for another 3 seconds, select the desired fixture profile, and confirm with enter. The configuration is now complete. Patching fixtures manually. If your fixture is not available in the library or if you want to patch your fixture manually, keep the swap button pressed for 3 seconds to go back to the first menu item patch fixture. Now you can patch the individual DMX channels of the connected fixtures. In example, you can assign them freely to the control elements of the Color Chief. The control element for assigning the DMX channels can be found in the upper line on the display and the DMX channel in the lower line. With the encoder wheel, you can switch through the control elements. Currently used DMX channel will be indicated in the lower line. In order to change an assigned DMX channel, keep the tap button pressed and simultaneously turn the encoder wheel. Press the enter button to confirm the selected channel. In the user manual of your fixture, you can find further information as to which functions are available on which channel. Now you simply assign these channels to the different functions of the Color Chief. The unused channels can be deleted by pressing the delete button. This way you can patch up to 4 spotlights with up to 6 colors for each fixture. If you have a color wheel light effect, you can patch it just as quickly using a control channel with an individual control. Furthermore, you can patch a dimmer and a shutter channels. There are also 3 free channels for all special functions such as the derby pan movement, indicated as free patch 1, 2, and 3. Keep the menu escape button pressed for 3 seconds in order to exit the menu. Programming scenes and chases. Once you have patched your fixtures, you can start programming and memorizing scenes and chases. Use the fixture buttons 1 to 8 to select the spotlights you want to program. If your fixture has more than one spotlight, you can select the respective spotlight using the buttons A, B, C, and D. You can control the individual colors of the fixture using the 6 color wheel controls. Keep in mind that you also need to pull up the dimmer fader to make the spotlights work. You might have to pull up the dimmer fader again after selecting a new fixture even if it is already pulled up. The dimmer fader is also active in fixtures without an individual dimmer channel. The color chief then simulates this function via the color mixture. Some fixtures only produce light if you pull up the shutter fader too. You can use the color wheel controls to control the colors of spotlights with a color wheel effect. However, the color chief simulates a color wheel function for fixtures with color mixture too, so you can easily scroll through the colors. One of the highlights of the color chief is hiding behind the buttons FX1 to 8. Here you can find pre-programmed light effects. All you have to do is select the desired fixture, press the effect button, and use the big encoder wheel to adjust the speed. The color chief also automatically recalculates the effects each time you change the number of fixtures and spots involved in order to achieve ideal results. You can also slightly change the effect colors. For instance, if you add the color red to a green and blue effect, the color changes to yellow and pink. If you have recorded special functions on the free patch channels, you can call those now. If you want to reset your settings, keep the FX speed button pressed for 3 seconds. Storing programs. Memorizing a scene does not require a specific programming mode. Just press the Store button. You can now select one of the Chase buttons as a memory bank. Occupied banks light green. Of course, you can still insert further steps. If you select an occupied memory, bank will flash. You can now use the encoder wheel to scroll through the different storing options. If you select Add Step, you can insert a step, no matter if it is the first step of a scene or an additional step of a chase. Add Step simply adds the step to the end of the previously programmed steps. If you select Insert Step, you can add an additional step to a chase. You will be asked at which position of the scene you want the step to be added. For this setting, you need to select the step in front of which the new step is supposed to be added. With the option Overwrite Step, you can overwrite a scene. Edit Step is not a memorizing option, but you can call a step to have its data memorized in the chase memory. You can then edit it and store it at any place via one of the other memorizing options. With Delete Step, you can select any step and delete it. In order to call your scenes and chases, simply press the respective chase button or buttons. If you select more than one program, the activated buttons light green. The button you selected last flashes. For the flashing button, you can now use the chase speed fader to adjust the running speed of the program. In example, how long each scene is supposed to be shown. You can also perform this setting via the tap button. Press the tap button twice. The time between the two actuations of the button defines the duration of the scene. Using the Fade Time fader, you can adjust fades. An example, define whether the transition from one scene to the next is supposed to be hard or soft and how fast it should be. This setting is made for one scene at a time. This means that it is possible for different programs to run with different time settings. If you activate sound control, all of your programs run to the rhythm of the music. The audio signal is picked up either by the internal microphone or the audio input. Not only spotlights but also other DMX devices can be controlled. For instance, you can also add a front light or a fog machine. All you have to do is to patch them like you did with the spotlight and adjust the DMX value respectively. The system menu. Now you are familiar with almost all of the basic functions of the Color Chief. However, there are still some important functions hiding in the system menu which we will now have a closer look at. 2. Delete all fixture patch. With this function you can reset all patch settings to the default values. 3. Reset factory. You can reset the Color Chief to factory settings. But keep in mind that the entire fixture library will be deleted as well. In this case, you can download the fixture profiles on the product website at www.steinigke.de. 4. USB data backup. You can store all of your settings including all patches, adjustments and programs of your Color Chief on a USB flash drive. Just connect a USB flash drive to the device. Select the function Data Backup and select one of the 24 chase buttons as memory bank in order to memorize your settings on the USB flash drive. This way, you can memorize the data of all 24 memory banks individually. 5. USB Data Load. Using this function you can call your setup memorized on a USB flash drive. 6. Fixture Lib Manage. This helps you to manage your fixture library. You can call or delete individual fixtures or entire libraries. Update of the Color Chief firmware. The firmware of the Color Chief can be updated. Frequently check on the product website of the Color Chief at www.steinigke.de to learn about new updates. If a new update is available, download it to your USB flash drive. Now connect the USB flash drive to the switched off Color Chief. Keep the store button pressed and switch the Color Chief back on. The update is now installed automatically. After installation, you have to switch the Color Chief off again and then back on. And now we wish you a lot of fun with the Color Chief. For updates and news on the product, please refer to the product website.